Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. Welcome to Face the Music. Glad that you are here today. Glad that everyone is here. Hey, listen. Um, you know, Many of you probably saw the short that I put out yesterday about what the news is that I heard yesterday. Well, I'm sure many of you heard yesterday as well about the tragic passing of Toby Keith. Now, for those of you who know anything about Toby Keith, and I don't really have to talk to you about him, I'm sure you already know. But there's a lot of people on this channel who aren't from this country or maybe haven't heard of Toby Keith. So let me just explain to you really quickly about Toby Keith. So Toby Keith was an American country singer. Came out around 1993, and from that point on, just really just dominated the charts in many areas, all the way through the last couple of decades. Let me just tell you right now. I mean, he really was fantastic. I followed him all the way from the time that he came out with his first single, "Should Have Been a Cowboy," probably his number one song of all time that I think that everyone associates with Toby Keith. And just I think he had, if I read correctly, I think I read that he sold over 30 million albums. He had, I think it was 20 number one hits, just a lot of awards, a lot of great things going on, and just a true, honestly, a true American patriot. Really, he was really pro-military. And again, I know a lot of you that are from other countries. You probably have representatives in your own countries who musicians or movie stars or celebrities of some sort who probably represent your country just as well as Toby Keith represented the United States. But again, Toby for us, a great American hero, and he had such great songs, and he wrote many of his own songs. I think that's another thing that I really liked about Toby Keith because he wrote a lot of his own music. And so when you heard some of his songs, it wasn't just him taking someone else's thoughts and then singing about those ideas or thoughts, whatever. He actually lived a lot of what he actually wrote. And I know a lot of people do that, but I mean, honestly, he really, you could just tell in his music and in his singing that he really felt the music because he wrote the songs, But I tell you, I mean, just such great songs. Again, "Should Have Been a Cowboy," songs like that. "I Love This Bar," "Who's Your Daddy," just a lot of, as I'm sitting here and I'm thinking about all these songs, "How Do You Like Me Now?" Just so many great songs. And of course, the one that we're doing today, which was his tribute to 9/11, courtesy of the Red, White, and Blue, the Angry Americans, really, that's what the whole title is. I remember when the song came out, and it was just, a game changer for me because up to that point, Toby Keith had some great, great songs, some great music, but when that song came out, it just really spoke to me, and it spoke to a lot of Americans, I think. And then it just seemed like things kind of changed for him, and he just really just hit the scene hard and just kept going and never looked back. So he's going to be sorely missed. I was thinking yesterday as I heard the news, and I went back and I started looking at all the albums. I think I have most of his albums. I really think I do, and I've actually seen him once in concert. You can see a picture here of him at the concert that my family and I went to back probably about 13 years ago, I think. And it was a great show, great time. And the thing is, like I said before, now Toby Keith is he was very much pro military. He really was. And one thing, and I don't talk a lot about myself on this channel because this channel is not about me. It's about the music. It's about the artist. I might say from time to time, now and then, hey, I went to this concert, I saw this person and that artist or whatever. But I don't really talk about myself a lot. But one thing I will say that a lot of people may not realize that I don't think, even spoken much about here on this channel before is that I actually am prior military myself. I actually served for over 21 years. So I really fully understand exactly the sentiment that Toby Keith had and the pride that he had in this country and in our flag and the patriotism that he felt. Recently I've done some Dan Vasc episodes. I know a lot of you Dan Vasc fans really like those. Where he, did the Star Spangled Banner, and then his, quote unquote apology for it was fantastic, by the way. But, I think that, I don't know if Toby Keith ever actually heard Dan Vasc songs or, he saw that, heard him do the Star Spangled Banner or the apology or whatever. But I think that he would have really, first of all, I think he would have liked the Star Spangled Banner just to know that there was someone else out there who wasn't even American that was singing loud and proud our national anthem. I think he would have loved it. And I think he really would have liked the apology. The apology, right? I think he really would like that because that's the kind of guy he was. I mean, he could come up with some funny stuff. He was a funny guy. From everyone I've heard, he was a funny guy too. Toby Keith was. So I think he would have really liked it. He could be sarcastic. He could be funny. He could be serious. He could be just every emotion you can think of. He could bring it out of you, especially in his music. But I understand that not everyone feels the way that I feel, and many of you that maybe know anything about Toby Keith feel. I was going through his music yesterday, and I was thinking, like I said, I have most all his albums, and I was going through all these songs, and I was not only looking at the ones who made the number one list or that even charted at all, but just a lot of other songs that never hit the charts, never were released as singles, and I was like, man, I forgot about a lot of these songs because he had so many albums with so many great songs. A lot of artists, I was thinking about this. A lot of artists, they have filler songs. In other words, they have like an album they create. They make this album, maybe 10 songs, 12 songs, whatever it is. And, they maybe have a couple of hits that they release off of that album. And then the rest of them are kind of fillers, and you could tell in a lot of the albums that that's exactly what they are. They're not really like songs that the artist feels. They're just something to put on the album. Their real goal is to sell those 2 or 3 songs maybe off of that album. When I looked through the albums that I have of Toby Keith, I couldn't find that at all. I mean, the songs that really weren't even released as singles were just such great, fantastic songs. I'm like, there were no filler songs. I mean, it was one of those albums. His albums are always those albums you can just play all the way through and never, want to skip one because you say, well, that really wasn't worth being on the album. It wasn't really even worth him recording. Every single song is fantastic. But like I say, not everyone feels that way. And, I actually had a comment yesterday, and I'm not going to necessarily call this person out by name. It's on my short, but if you want to take a look at it, you can definitely see it. But basically their comment was, and this is exactly what they said, I hear he helped veterans, and he did. He was, like I said, pro-veteran, pro-military, and that's good. But, this is what he said, his music was tacky and anti-family, so I won't miss that. And I'm going to say, I totally disagree with that. And I let him know that in my comment, response back. I totally disagree with that. Like I said, I followed Toby since '93 when he came out with his first album, and I have never seen that aspect of him at all. I don't believe that that's actually accurate, and no one that I've heard of that knows him feels the same way. I asked the commenter to, can you support your statement? Haven't heard back. Maybe he hasn't seen my response. I don't know. Maybe he will. And I get it. Maybe Toby's not for everybody. And as far as I'm concerned, again, on this channel, everyone's welcome to their own opinion. It couldn't be the wrong opinion, but you're welcome to it. Okay, but I'm going to go ahead and play this footage today. And like I said, when I started thinking about the song that I wanted to do, of course, the first song that came to mind was "Courtesy of the Red, White, and Blue," and it's going to be difficult for me to play the Vivo video because that's the official video, and that's the one that's really, really, to me, it's really awesome as far as the song goes. So you can check that out because I get blocked a lot of times on this channel from Vivo, and a lot of people do, but. I found this other footage, and I said, this is actually even better. And so I like this song. I haven't seen the footage all the way, but when I started to kind of play it, and I started to see exactly what was going on, I said, okay, this is what I'm going to use. And there's a few reasons for it. Number one is because I like the song. Again, it's the same song that I wanted to feature on this channel. Number two is the event that it took place at, and you'll know it when you start to see the episode. So no more talking right now. Let's go ahead and get right on into it. Here we go.
That song's from my old one-eyed father. Came back from the service with one eye, never complained about it my whole life. And all the stuff I do for the great and mighty USO and all the good work they do for our fantastic military. It's all in dedication to my father. And I'd like to do this song for him tonight. American girls, American guys will always stand up and salute and always recognize when we see old glory fly. There's a lot of men dead, so we can sleep in peace at night when we lay down our head. My daddy served in the army, we lost his right eye and he flew our flag out in our yard. Till the day that he died, he wanted my mother, my brother, my sister and me to grow up and live forever in the land of the free. This nation that love is falling under attack. A mighty sucker punch came flying in from somewhere in the back. As soon as we could see clearly through our big black eye, man, we lit up your world like a 4th of July. Put your name on top of his list. Statue of Liberty started singing her miss. People will fly, it's gonna be hell. Singing more freedom, start ringing that bell. It'll feel like the whole wide world raining down on you. that will raise. Good guys win every time you rattle their cage. Man, you'll be sorry you messed with my U.S. of A. We'll put a boot in your ass, it's the American way. Hey, Uncle Sam, put your name top of his list. Statue of Liberty started singing fast. The eagle will fly, there's gonna be hell when you hear Mother Freedom start ringing her bell. It'll feel like the whole wide world raining down on you. And it's broad city courtesy of the red, white, blue. Yeah. Oh, my red, white, blue. No. Oh, my red, white, and blue. God bless our military. Thank you. God bless America.
And there you have it, Toby Keith, and he performed that song live at President at that time, then President-elect Donald Trump's "Making America Great Again" concert in, of course, D.C. You could see the footage there. Just incredible, just incredible. That was a great performance. Like I said, I had started to watch it just to kind of see, make sure the audio was okay for what I wanted to feature here, and see what exactly it was. And I stopped it and I said, nope, this is what I want to use for sure. And you can check out the official video. Like I said earlier on, it's online. You can see the official video of that song, and it shows him actually, Toby, going overseas to the troops in Afghanistan at that time, and just in other countries, just again, a true American patriot. I think someone also commented on my short yesterday and said, have you heard of Willie Nelson? Yes, I have heard of Willie Nelson. I don't know if that comment was directed to me or to the person that I responded to, because that person also made a great comment about Toby and how he was, just a great American patriot. I've heard of Willie Nelson. Of course, who hasn't? And I'm sure, like I said, there's a lot of other artists, country musicians, could be other musicians from any genre, really, that are also very, very, very pro-military. So we're not going to single Toby out and say he was the only one, but I will tell you that was one of his great features. He was a big guy, and he was kind of imposing. When he came around, you knew that he, that he meant business, and he, like I said, pro-military, pro-God, pro-faith, pro-country, as far as I know, and nobody that I have ever seen an interview with or that's talked about him has ever talked about him in a negative way. If I remember the story correctly, I believe he started off, he wanted to play pro football, he played semi-pro football, I know that, and I know he also worked in the oil rigs in Oklahoma, which is where I believe he was from. But I think he had a knee injury or some kind of injury prevented him from going any further with that, and eventually got into music, and then the rest, of course, is history. But just a great, great talent. He will be sorely missed. He really will be. Yesterday, unfortunately, country music, and music as a whole, really, but country music specifically, lost a true legend. I don't know what else there is to say. I mean, this isn't one of those episodes where, it's one of those episodes where I'm proud to feature Toby, but I wish I hadn't waited so long. I notice a lot of times whenever someone, like a musician or a movie star or someone passes, unfortunately, that's when a lot of the interest in their material all of a sudden surfaces, and all of a sudden the record sales spike or whatever. And it's not that for me, to be honest with you, but, I wish I had featured him on the channel a lot earlier. But, he's on here now, and he will be going forward, because I'm going to be featuring a lot of songs, not necessarily just the hits, but other songs of Toby's that, again, when I go through the albums, I like to feature, not hidden tracks, but tracks that just really aren't well known. That a lot of people, if they knew those tracks were out there, they might be like, wow, I don't know why this was never released as a single. So I'm going to be featuring a lot of those out, on the channel here. Hopefully in the not too distant future, but I do want to get Toby out here again. Just a great talent. He will be sorely missed. And, what else can I say? I really, though, in hindsight, looking back at that footage, just thought that was absolutely fantastic. Really enjoyed watching it, and I hope that you did as well. Okay, well, that's it for today's episode. If you're not a subscriber, do me a favor, reach over, hit that subscribe button, and just join this big family. Let's keep all this great music alive together. Also, while you're there, check out my notification, or check out the hashtag down below. I shouldn't say notifications. The hashtag down below, Face the Music Reactions, rather. check that out. Just press that. It'll take you to another page. You'll find all my previous content there. Or just simply go to my playlist section. I need to actually update that. But one thing I also wanted to say is, the photo that I showed earlier of Toby Keith in concert, I'm going to actually have some other pictures from that same concert. I'm going to put on my Instagram channel. So down below in the box, you'll see not only my email address that you can contact me at for comments, suggestions, whatever, recommendations, but also my Instagram account. Give me a follow there. Right now I have predominantly music-related posts on there, but I'm going to also be putting some personal things on there as well going forward a little bit more. So, give me a follow there if you would, and I think that you'll enjoy it. Okay? Come on back next time. I have a lot of other great content, a lot of other great music lined up for you. I'll see you next time right here on Face the Music. Take care.